So I have a Surface Pro 9 from Microsoft, and I have an issue when on video calls. I typically will have it here pointing up to me, and it will like get a shot up my nose. Basically, I want to 3D print a mount that will shoot more direct at me. So let's go ahead and make it. All right, so I pretty much have the surface where I want it. I went ahead and took some shots, so as you can see, pretty much getting my full face plus all the junk in the background, which I'll be using blur. But long story short, it'll look good. So I already went ahead and measured the distance from the desk to the bottom of the surface. It's 3 inches and 3/4. So now I just need to go ahead, get the surface dimensions into Fusion. I also need to get some more dimensions of the thickness, and then also how I'm going to design a mount that will stand it up that distance and also hold it in. I'm basically thinking of using like a C channel like this, and then potentially having a bolt that will come in off this side so I can like tighten it in, just to hold it up there. The surface is pretty heavy, so I got to think about density as well, and also the degree to lean the surface back because it's not just 90 degrees looking at me. I've also took a reference photo of that, and also just the overall balance of the structure as well are things that I have to consider. So let's start drawing. All right, so at this point I'm starting to draw my surface. That's my first object. I'm going to use that as my reference model here. So at this point I'm going to go ahead and draw like the little C channel stand clip thing that I was talking about. I did make it a little short. I went back in at the end of the video. I don't think I actually got it in the time lapse, and made it a lot taller. I've added in a little pivot point here so I can go ahead and move the surface front and back. At this point I'm just going ahead and trying to give myself some reference lines along with a midline here, so then that way I can start to draw out the stand. I'm using the arc tool just so I can give myself some front and back stability on the stand. I'm just trying different ways to get like a nice looking line that should support this. At this point I'm trying to essentially mirror this other side to the adjacent side, so then that way I can put a bolt through or something like that. I do also want to note I'm still super new with Fusion, not a pro. I'm watching a lot of the Fusion 360 live videos. They are awesome if you are looking to learn Fusion in general. I've gone through and made a couple of the objects, or I've just put them on in the background and watched, and they are super helpful. So at that point, it was a little bit over my head to make that pivot joint, even though I was basically right there. So I stepped back through history with my C-channel stand. And here you can see I'm going to make a plane at an angle and go ahead and draw a static stand. At this point, I just opted for a more simpler design. I believe I over-engineered it a little bit too much, as you might see in this next clip. I do need to make new adjustments, and I try to add a web here and everything like that. It's a little bit too much. And I go ahead and just go with a simple design and exclude the web idea. And overall, it turned out great, but a lot of designs I can easily overcomplicate, so I do have to remember that part when going through this. So here's pretty much the first iteration of the stand that I'm going for. When I had worked offline on this as well as on the time lapse, as you saw. So I went in and added a cross member here just to add for some stability with a X member. I'm not sure how this is going to work. I'm hoping well. Idea behind the X is so that it doesn't rotate. I'm not thinking that this is going to have much movement since it's just sitting on my desk, but still with that possibility. It's an expensive device and heavy, so I don't want to risk it. I also added a little lip here with a little bit of leeway. I'm still learning CAD, so it's not beautiful, but it should work. So, again, here's the side view, so that way it's not just a straight 90. And I think everything looks good. I was going to add a little clip in here, but I wasn't for sure how to do that. Another thing that I was thinking of is potentially using like a groove and then a clip in, but I will print this and see how it does. If I need to, I can just add hot glue. Should be good. I'm hoping that this is far enough back to hold it. So let's go ahead and get it ready to print. Here's the final result of the Microsoft stands that I've developed. I'm so excited about how this video came out and just the new things that I've learned to do in Fusion, such as these dovetails that I'm about to show. So guys, I'm so excited to keep learning and keep exploring on this stand. I do plan to come out with a version 2.0, which will include some more features. And I did have some mishaps with these prints, such as under extrusion, warping, and other little mishaps like that, but I do plan to work those out for the future. But guys, if you do like this type of content and want to get involved, make sure you comment, like, and subscribe to my channel. So I will be coming out with future videos with different future 3D print ideas. So again, guys, thank you so much for watching this, and I hope you guys have a great one. Thanks.